back in St. Lucia in the islands. Those memories are vivid. Going to the beach for the first time, seeing my father show me how to crack an almond. He was brave enough to take that opportunity, that voyage to come to New York, and my mom was with me. When he got in citizenship, he could have filed for me on his own rightful way. He applied for her. The absence of my parents, it kind of lost some things in me where I'm the only kid that don't have their mother or father on Mother's Day to celebrate. I remember so well where I actually prayed that someday that I could have my mom and my father again. Yes, my parents were not there, but I had a rock and a solid person in my grandmother. She was amazing. She was the icon in the community with her restaurants, her bakery. My grandma taught me in the kitchen when I was young, pretty young, like 8, 7, pretty much. Things in my life that that hurt me was the passing of my grandmother. I guess you're a kid, like your grandma was your world, and now she's not there. My mom called me, and my father's like, "Are you all right? Do you want to come to New York?" I had to go to the neighboring island of Barbados to do my medical, to get my visa, my green card application. It was like extensive testing you for different diseases. I was excited and scared at the same time. I remember leaving, it was New Year's Eve. Imagine that, coming to a new world. I remember that flight, man, it was a thunderstorm. It was like tons of empty seats, and we're in the sky rocking like crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, am I going to die? Eventually I land, and it was January 1st, 1999.
2, 1, happy 1999!
To reunite with them was amazing. I mean, everybody came out onto the airport to greet me. I got the speech from my father and my mom. Okay, you have a green card, which gives you access to be legal, to work, everything here. But ultimately it's to become a citizen. And to do that, you cannot be in no trouble. You can't even be arrested because they could deport you. You have 5 years just to be a good standing citizen. And I pursued to get a job. You have no references, no experiences. You pretty much have a number. That's it, a social security number. So went to college, networking, and I finally got a job doing mail work at a bank. Worked there for 2 years, and I made my way up. Something about me coming to New York was so fascinating. It was about food and culture. You go into fancy restaurants and you back in your mind, it's like you're going back to your Caribbean culture. Like, how come there's no Caribbean place to go like this? On my lunch break one day, I went to check out different culinary schools, and my whole question to them was like, what's like a salary for a chef? And they're like, starting salary is probably you get $10, $11 an hour. I'm like, what? I'm taking a major pay cut if I pursue this. And it came to terms when the economy was failing and it was more like a recession. Never went through this, it was scary. And I got laid off from my job. I went back to the Caribbean to rethink myself and to reinvent myself as a chef. I said, you know what? It makes me happy and I will pursue it. And I enrolled in the French Institute of Culinary, which was down in Soho. My mom was like telling me, are you sure? My father was saying, sure. I said, you know what? This is my chance. I was the only Caribbean guy there, and their style was Italian, French, and I'm like coming with my traditional grandmother ways in my mind. Eventually I caught on, and from then different levels in the culinary program was amazing. And I actually had a job before I left culinary school, which was sweet because my severance pay was over, my employment had run out, and I got my $11 an hour, which I was very grateful for. It dawned on me where, you know what, I've learned so much from French, American, Italian. Why not incorporate it in my Caribbean cuisine? And people were talking about it like crazy. Who is this new chef? I got that title where it was celebrity chef. I'm happy that I had a good foundation from my grandmother. It's like I'm reinventing myself in her way, where she's actually used to feed people that's to come to St. Lucia tourists. Now I'm in the culinary world, I'm doing the same thing. I found my purpose in life, and it's allowed me to achieve my dream of being a chef and one day probably owning my own restaurant. How could I fault my parents for leaving me and migrating to the US? It helped me to embrace my purpose and my dream.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.